For one Chicago man who was there that day, January 6th is a legal battle that has now become his own personal fight. And he decided to tell his story as many hope to have their name cleared by the president-elect 2 weeks from today.
You can't trust politicians. If a politician tells you that they're going to help you and don't worry, you got to worry.
Larry Legas is a man of conviction, but also contradiction. On January 6, 2021, Legas, who says he's a lifelong Democrat, traveled to D.C. and, wearing a red MAGA cap, was photographed by security cameras and his own cell phone during the insurrection at the Capitol.
I'm probably the only registered Democrat that was there.
Legas says he lost faith in the party over violent crime and illegal immigration at the southern border. Disillusioned, this longtime community activist found his way to Donald Trump.
I believe our country needed change. And I thought Donald Trump was the person.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
By the end of the year, Legas, founder of the Logan Square Concerned Citizens Group, was among the 50 or so Illinois residents arrested for their roles in the riot.
I was not going to miss that day. It was like no one needed to ask me to go or suggest to go. I went on my own.
The government charged Legas with 4 misdemeanor counts of entering a restricted building, disorderly conduct in a restricted building, disorderly conduct and parading in a Capitol building.
I'm not tiptoeing around that. January 6th was a riot. It was an awful day for America. I know I'm not guilty. And the reason why I fought this, to clear my name, is because I was there with zero intent of doing any malicious behavior.
USA! Legas said he wasn't there to stop the Biden certification, but instead had questions about the Stop the Steal movement and wanted to talk to a member of Congress about a ballot audit in the swing states.
I wanted to talk to somebody peacefully, civilly.
So you were in the rotunda?
I was in the rotunda, and that's as far as I went.
And it was okay to be there in your mind?
In my mind, all the indications were that I was allowed to be there.
That attack, that siege, was criminal behavior, plain and simple, and it's behavior that we, the FBI, view as domestic terrorism.
Legas, who worked on Republican governor candidate Darren Bailey's campaign, has several theories about what he calls Department of Justice abuses connected to the Biden presidency, and feels he was targeted for his work in Chicago election reform.
Unregistered voters trying to vote, voters that were underage tried to vote, gang members intimidating election judges.
According to the Chicago Board of Elections, the only problems that were known in Legas's ward that election were related to equipment issues and judge no-shows. After refusing to plead guilty to the original January 6 charges, Legas's charges were upgraded to felony obstruction. And now, with Trump on his way back to the White House, comes the campaign promise to pardon all J6ers.
He needs to look at my case, because the word pardon, I look at it as a badge of shame, because pardon means that I have been already found guilty. And I have not been found guilty, and I believe in the court system. The country needed somebody like me that has the experience. And I stood up. I did what was right.
He prefers the case be dismissed. As for the other January 6 defendants, Legas does not think they're all entitled to a pardon. The violent participants, he says, should face justice.
If I end up going to trial in spring, the facts, the truth will prevail that my charges were political sabotage.
Legas has a status conference on his superseding indictment in Washington next week. After that, he will face a bench trial. So far, about 1,500 people in all 50 states have been prosecuted for their roles in January 6th. 900 have pleaded guilty.